Hello YouTube. Uh, Today we have a tank kit. This is a Type 4 Cheeto. This is it was a tank designed to come after the Type 97. They only had produced two before. Most of their most of their most of their stuff went to building planes and ships. They weren't that uh, focused on building tanks, but this was what they had to design in 1943 to replace their Type 97s, and it was supposed to be a pretty good. It was designed to defeat the M4 Sherman. Of course, yeah, they didn't see that much combat because it was mostly ships and aircraft. But I thought it was a cool looking kit and a cool looking tank, so I went and got it. This is from Fine Molds, and I already did one review of a Fine Molds kit, and this one looks. I'm thinking probably gonna look about the same. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And ring that bell to get notifications when I upload new videos. So the Type 4 Cheeto, actually a nice looking gun there on that tank. But I wonder, what is this crazy looking thing here? Some type of antenna, I would think, maybe. You see it has a whole machine gun. And I believe it also has a machine gun on the top. They have detailed up parts. Fine Mold seems to sell these things separately. But it comes with some photo etch here. Fine detail accessories. Let's see if I use it. I'm not sure. I'll take a look at what's in the kit first. But first, let's take a look at the instructions real quick. Like these Fine Mold kits is all in Japanese. I have no idea what half of it says, even though I could probably go into Google Translate and get an idea. There's a lot of parts here, it looks like. You have the hull, polycaps. No, those aren't polycaps. Oh, those are clear parts. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 10 trees of plastic, plus you have the decals, plus you have, oh, there's another, so 12 trees, and for the photo etch, plus, you can see it's a one long rubber track here. Now the other tank I looked at from Fine Molds, it looks like it can turn out pretty like a pretty detailed tank. Now you see the hull comes in separate pieces, so you have to glue them together, and always have to make sure when you get these kind of holes that you get it really square. And it has so it matches up good. And I found if you do bottom side and back first, bottom side and back or front, depending on which way it says to build, then you have a much better chance of getting it square in there, because you need 3 sides to match, and then you can get the 4th one on and it should be okay. And here you start with the suspension, the road wheel arms, and then there's putting suspension parts. Here's the for the sprocket. Arms, this is all suspension, road wheels, sprocket, guide arm, or the tensioner roller, and putting the road wheels on. The first 2 pages are just suspension. Then here you start with the upper hull. Sponsoons and a couple of small pieces here. Machine gun for the front, with the front of the front plate here. Small details. Decals for, oh no, photo etch goes across here. Some exhaust, and the exhaust details. It's all the back detail here. Detail on the back of the tank. Tow cable. Couple details, the handles, more handles. And it looks like there's 2. Oh, this is painting the tow cable, putting them on. Handles. There's covers for the grills here. Then you put the track on. Here you start with the assembly of the gun tube and the mantle. Looks like there's an interior to this gun tube as well. You see here. Commander's cupola. Top of the turret. Here, putting the gun tube in and details on top of the turret. Then you put it together. And here we have a camo. I'll probably do the camouflage version. The solid ones are kind of, but there's 2 options. Plus you have one here. This is hay color. It says fiction. Well, they're all fiction because it was 2 were produced, but it was never used in combat. So no unit ever received one. But the only one that has a unit is this 11th Tank Regiment. So I'll probably do something like this. Start here, look at the decals first. Oh. See one of the trees. There's more photo etch in here. In English, I don't know why it would be in English. I'll just do some simple decals. Nothing crazy. See, there's some photo etch here. Grills. A couple smaller parts. This looks like maybe fuel. For the fuel. And then there's some clear parts here too. Okay, photo etch, the grills, and these are like maybe for fuel tanks. And here's a plate, and then some clear parts. And the decals are pretty simple. A lot of stuff here in English. I don't understand why they would have anything in English. It should be in Japanese. And there's a couple of parts here. But I won't do anything complicated. I'll just maybe do some stripes and something like that. So here's a small tree. It has a commander's cupola, and this is just the commander's cupola. It has the two parts to the cupola, the hatches, and a handle. And I sometimes hate these things because you always have to clean it up really good. This is just part of it, but I wish they could do it without that. I guess they have to mold it that way though. It's a simple small tree. The parts look good though. You can see there's a lot of detail here, but there's a little molding problem here as well. You can see here on the end, there's this weird swirl. But I think it's not like, or it might be just oil from the moldings. A little polish finished. But it has some good detail here along the hull. On the bottom of the hull, rivets or bolts. Good detail overall. Pioneer tools. No flash. No major problems with the parts. Of course, there's pin marks on the inside. That's fine. Doesn't matter. That's where they should be. In some places, it's inconspicuous. Won't be seen. See, on the hull, there's a thick thing here. I have to cut it off and clean it up very carefully. Once again, no flash. Good details around the turret ring. And here in the back as well. Looks like the details are pretty good. We see here too. Some good detail there. Go here with tree H. These should be the fenders, I think. Looks like it at least. They look pretty good too. Got the vents here. Nice details here on these parts as well here. Here's the front plate. See, the parts look really good. There's no flash on any of them. I think these are probably brand new molds, because these are tanks that aren't really that popular. I mean, people have Type 97s, but Cheetos, it never really went to production. It was never really used, so there's probably not a lot of interest. I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. I'm interested in that kind of thing. I'm not so interested on stuff that was just on the drawing board, but if it was produced, like the mouse, the German mouse tank, they started producing it. They never really finished one of them, but that thing is a scary looking tank. Okay. These parts look good here. Lots of good detail around here. It's rough, like this metal, you know, this metal roughness all along here. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. If that's a, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. If that's a mess up in the molding, but I think it's probably this how they grinded parts of the tank. It looks good. Gun tube looks pretty good. It doesn't look warped. I really do like the brass barrels better though, but they don't have brass barrels for everything. But if you if you carefully glue it together and make sure it's even and sand both sides of the seam, and you know, first with the rough sanding and the smooth sanding, it turns out usually pretty good. I've had a couple of gun tubes though that were really badly warped, and I really had to get a metal one for it. Oh, the turret looks really nice. It has this roughness to it too. See, here's some good detail of these parts from the mantle. These are a little bit weak. I like it when the gun tube goes farther inside, so it's stronger. This also can create a problem. If you want to put a metal barrel on it, it might not be strong enough. I mean, you have to use super glue anyways. But I've had some super glue that was really crappy too. We'll take a look at the track last. There's only a few parts left here. These look like, here, two identical trees. You have the arms for the road wheels here. Good detail around here. And the exhaust. The exhaust can be a problem sometimes too when it's split like this, but it can also be a problem when it's not split. And I wish they would, well, I would hollow the end piece out, if that's the part where the exhaust comes out, and I would cut it, and I have these little grinder things, and they work pretty good. I have different forms. This is a triangle one. This is a round one, but I have a triangle one and a flat one. A triangle one, a flat one, and one that's flat on one side, like a half moon. And they work really good when you have big problems. These little files. So, you know, cut it out and file it down, and then it's an open exhaust. And here we have all the road wheels, sprockets and everything. You can see sprockets on this side. There's detail on both sides, on all of them. Not like on some kits where you have on the outside there's some detail and on the inside it's nothing, and the pin marks as well. But I don't know how they can make these wheels like this, and there's no pin marks at all. I don't really understand that, how it works. I mean, on sprockets you can put the pins in here, I guess, or whatever, or maybe they're on the ends or something. But they all look pretty good. There's detail on both sides of all the road wheels and sprockets and everything. And look on the return rollers. Same detail. A lot of small parts here. Machine gun. Tow cable. Tow cable looks pretty good. It's going to need some cleanup here. There. It's like that's the only this flash here along it. It's going to take really some cleanup. That's really the only flash I've seen on the whole thing. This is an identical tree. All the same. All the same parts twice. Both sides. And here we go with the track. It's a soft rubber. You have on I've had some kits where they had like a hard rubber track, and that's not all that great because these are more flexible. They fit better. and there's detail on both sides. It looks like it's an all metal track. There's no rubber pads, but it's bent. So you're gonna have to warm it up a little to get it straight again, I think, or at least partially straight. Well, this doesn't look much different than the other fine molds kit that I reviewed. And in fact, I think it would build into a really nice looking model. We still have to look at one more thing. Just real quick, here is the other set of photo etch that came with it. This looks like it has the fender brackets here. A couple of tools, the wrench. This is for the we had that on our, we had one of those, something like that on our tank too. I can't remember what it was for right now. I think it was for tightening the track. And there's another wrench, a couple of grills, and some smaller parts. They're even in color, which is not really all that necessary. It's going to get painted over anyways eventually. But so that's the Type 4 Cheeto. And my next video will be over a B-26 Marauder. It's an old monogram kit. I think it's a really good kit too. I'm going to take a look at it. I already showed it a little bit in because of the problem with the decals on the tail in a few videos ago. I want to take a better look at it, show some of the interior detail and stuff. Until next time.